11 months ago, the Parma Panthers and Firenze Guelfi came to Toledo for the Italian Bowl, with the Panthers winning the league title 29-13. Tomorrow night on BCSN is the rematch as the two playoff contenders square off in a regular season showdown. To preview the IFL game of the week, we welcome in our pregame crew, Justin Feldkamp, Nick Ide, and Jack Mehort.
We are ready for Monday Night Football, IFL style, across the pond in Italy here on BCSN, coming up tomorrow night. And with this matchup, we really don't know how to look at it because both of the teams in this game, Parma and Florence, have both clinched playoff spots. Florence has actually already clinched a first-round bye. Parma trying to get a home game with the win, so a little more incentive for the Panthers to get it done. But this is a rematch of the Italian Bowl that took place at the Glass Bowl just this last July 1st in 2023, with Parma coming out on top.
Yeah, there's some interesting, storylines to this game. One, you mentioned that really Guelfi don't have anything to play for, related to this season. However, they lost to the Parma Panthers last year here in Toledo in the Glass Bowl, so there's a revenge factor. This may be their only chance to play them, if they don't see each other in the playoffs. From Parma, if they win, they get a home playoff game against the Legnano Frogs. So there's some intrigue, but obviously their playoff positions are set.
I guess maybe fast forward this a little bit, Jack, in the sense that Florence doesn't have a ton to play for. We've acknowledged that, but they were spectacular against Ancona 2 weeks ago, and Andrea Fremiani was great. Ryan DeLuca was great as well.
Yeah, and I expect momentum to continue in this game. I know on paper and mathematically it doesn't look like there's a lot at stake, but these are two competitive football teams. And talk about grudge matches. I mean, last year's Italian Bowl, I'm sure both these teams have had this one circled. So I expect no matter who's playing, whether it be starters, backups, whomever, to come out there and play really hard and have it be a great game.
So this is the final week of the regular season in the IFL. Let's take a look at the standings, which could also kind of duplicate as the playoff picture. So you see 9 teams on your screen. The top 6 make the playoffs. The top 2 get first-round byes, and both of those have been clinched by Varese and Firenze. So with Parma taking on Firenze here, Nick, you mentioned a potential home game against Legnano in the distance the week after the regular season here into the postseason. But Parma, any team would want some level of momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think that gives Parma a little bit more of a push to try to win this game and try to get that home game, because that's where they would like to see Legnano, who they lost to in the regular season. All
right, statistically comparing these teams, we've seen Parma play well and very well at times and sometimes come up just short. Yes, they have a 4-3 record, but all 3 of those losses, Nick, by just 5 points or less. They have been in some fantastic games, some fantastic finishes, and come up just short.
Yeah, and they've lost all those games, as you've mentioned, by 5 points or less on the final drive. And so they're not far from the mark. If they put it together, they will be the champion.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top here in the final week of the regular season. The playoff push is happening right now on BCSN, IFL style. For Jack and Nick, I am Justin. Back to you in the Sports Nightly studio.